but don't click anything.
That's right. I did bookmark it.
Bill, why are you not the right size again?
I haven't touched anything.
I'm sure you haven't.
Maybe your OBS didn't save its settings since it crashed
Either way,
or had issues.
either way, it's dumb.
Are we back?
Yeah, we should be live too. Yep.
Cool. Yeah, I see it. We're missing.
Is Kurt
Ted.
or Ted? I'm sorry. There he is. All right, so
I found him.
Sorry about that. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry about that. Everybody had some technical difficulties, so we launched the stream. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully, you can refresh your browsers, etc. Obviously, if you don't hear me, but we should be back. And Dan, we had that natural break anyway, so we're back, and Dan's going to explain the what's going on with the last action of a dying man's whatever.
Wow, how poetic.
Yeah,
that's really that's a great intro.
Can we put that?
We're
gonna put that aspect into play. Dying man's whatever.
The last action of a dying man's whatever is definitely going to be the aspect in play. Yeah, you guys are all dead. So that's really unfortunate. We'll do Care Gen next week, and we'll hopefully have a better campaign than this one. So what are you gonna do?
Truly joined the grave.
Really joined the grave. Yeah. So there's still this unearthly quiet, punctuated by the roar of this great beast, and the ground begins to yawn beneath you. And Davros, you see, and you feel that familiar flicker of a world opening itself within an existing one. That straining of the grave, that forcing the worlds one inside the other, like two portals forming a pocket. Whatever he had intended, and perhaps this was even it, it is going terribly wrong. The world is coming apart at the seams. And all of you, in about one action, let's say roughly exactly one action, are going to be pulled in to the grave or something within it. Who has World Right as a skill at all?
Me.
Jonas, Davros, do you have it to lob now? Okay.
Nope.
Jonas and Davros, you two are able. You can attempt to mitigate this. You can attempt to control where you end up, and more importantly, who ends up there with you. You can try to pull the yawning portals together to control the madness of the world breaking apart. You tell me which one to do with it. Actually, I'll say you can do this. You can either try to influence where you end up, or you can influence who you end up there with. Can't do both because you guys right here don't have a navigator. She's back on the ship. The people in play are 10 cultists, all of you guys, and Captain Rilo and the lone Mr. Nameless Crewman, who's now going to live forever. Once the two of you act, we're going to leave the rest up to chance. What do you guys try to do?
Are we allowed collaboration here, or is
I don't see why not.
The first thing that popped into my head, the very first thing that popped into my head here was, no, it doesn't really work. Because the second story thief is about climbing a little bit. Yeah. Then
I think we should pick who comes with us instead of where we end up.
Well, yeah, for sure. But then we're gonna have to describe how we do it. But I guess that's probably less important.
Group hug.
Yeah, out of the out of the 50-50 choice, yeah, I think choosing who we end up with instead of where we end up is more.
You could try to include everybody in it if you want. If you roll high enough.
Yeah, but I mean, we honestly, the only thing Jonas cares about in this very moment of watching Brecken, get his head splintered was, I would like Brecken's dead body wherever we are. The other 10 cultists I don't care about. Dan, this isn't what? This is this.
Well, it's like a really good idea, actually.
Thank you.
Because he's got all this stuff on him. I just don't want you to do it.
Yeah. Dan's like,
oh, by the way,
under his cloak, he's got the answer tattooed.
you notice, by the way, you're adjacent to him as you see him fall. Are you even like shocked? Or are you just like, huh?
Who, Jonas?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of, huh? Yeah.
You're also this helps. You're also adjacent to Davros because you just are on his corpse. And I'll give Verk and Talab. I'll give each of you guys an action. You can't affect what's going on here, but Talab, if you want to gather something, and Verk, if you want to do something, you each get an action before this catastrophe unfolds. You notice that Brecken's. This might just be residual, because there's a sword in his brain activating certain synapses. He is mouthing something silently as he's laying there in a pool of his own blood and brain. So he might not be totally dead.
Yeah.
He's dead enough that he's not going to take an action, but he might not be completely gone.
So if Davros is cool with that, that's how I would like to go about. I'd like to choose who we leave with. I would like to leave with Brecken, Rilo, and Nameless, and the rest of the party that's available.
I am going to say this. You guys can roll World Right. I will let you both roll. I will add your totals together, and you're going to be against a flat. It's against a 0. The higher, whatever number you get, that's the number of people you can choose to stay together. Sound fair?
Yes.
Sounds fair.
Okay. Frats, roll me World Right.
So we are trying to get there with a total of. So it would be 5 people.
7.
I mean 7, but me.
7 ideally.
So you need us to roll a +4 and a +3 to accomplish that?
I need you to roll a total of 7. However, did you slice it?
Yeah. So.
Which you both have World Right skill. Davros, you have a 2, and Jonas, you have a 3. Oh no, a 2 as well.
Could I do a free invoke of the stars are known to all to assist with this?
No, because that isn't an actual palpable effect. That was a psychological effect to convince these people, the cultists specifically, that they don't know that your way is equally as valid as Brecken's. That's a psychological aspect. If anything, that might help you later if you want to convince them that they should follow you or that they should come with you or something but not for this.
Okay. Then I mean, I just feel like me and Davros need to boost our rolls here. So
Talab also has Savant of the Song, which is was that a psychological one or was that a legitimate? No, because he was just mimicking it super well, but not enough that he can actually cast any magic for it.
Roll and burn truth if you need to.
yeah, I
Even
mean,
there's world aspects. Burn too.
It's true.
Not burn. Invoke.
I don't know that a lot of them really work here.
The first one.
Always the Song of the Tomb. I could
Yeah.
see you invoking that. Like you literally, that's a real ass. Like you are actually infected with this song. Like you can't not hear it.
yeah. So I could invoke that with a truth spend, right? And then
And that's your last truth. Yeah.
yeah. And because I know this song, I'm more attuned to what's going on and have a little bit more of effect over what's happening to try to pull all these people together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Let me do that.
Spend it. Nice. We're down to, well, we still have a couple. You're out. Verk has 1. Davros has 2. Talab has 2.
So I'll roll at a +4 then.
Okay.
All right, so I will roll. So that's +5.
Okay. So you basically need to get 2 more on Davros in order to get the exact number of people you want. If you get over that, you can still pull in some cultists if you want.
Woodland creatures.
You can. Davros,
I'd like to bring it. Sure.
you should. Davros?
I know. I'm just thinking if I want to invoke anything.
Okay.
I can't really see anything that would work for me.
Okay. Totally fair. Yeah, you don't want to stretch aspects beyond credulity because it's only going to hurt you in the long run.
So that's 6 total.
Ooh, well. Who doesn't come with you?
That sounds like a
20%
reroll,
of
buddy.
Truth to reroll.
Okay, all right. So now Davros is, no, you're down to 1 truth then, right?
Oh, thank God.
Oh, well, hold on. What aspect do you invoke to? You got to invoke an aspect to do it.
That's right.
Why will? Yeah. Why
Why would
won't this thing work?
Yeah, you're frustrated. You get this connection. You look at Jonas. He looks at you. You both have this connection to the grave. You both like kind of smile and pull your powers, and then you realize that it didn't work, and you just kind of like, metaphorically speaking, you bonk the grave on the head, and you're able to get it. So that's a total of what now?
That's 8.
3 plus 8. So you can bring an extra person if you want. You don't have to.
I don't want to, but I will leave that up to Jonas if he wants to pull an 8th.
But it would literally be one of the unnamed cultists, right?
Oh, no. We want to pull in the green thing that
That
the
Talab
green
wants?
blob. That Talab.
Nice. I was hoping someone was
Would
gonna.
that count as a?
It's a sentient creature.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to roll dumb luck to see if that's spent or not.
Okay.
Could then I take just one quick notice action?
Yeah, you got it, Davros.
These. Sorry.
No, go.
The other cultists. Do any of them? I want to just notice if any of them look sympathetic to us, maybe.
No. They're all in terror and or rage. Absolutely not. No. No.
Not even like.
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Isn't one just cowering in the corner?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. No, don't even roll. Like it is very. Yeah. One of them is crying. Like no.
Well, maybe not.
No.
Maybe that's the wrong word, but more like.
You see nothing but ruined men, afraid of death. Like some of them might welcome the embrace of the Leviathan. Like, but either way, these are not. No one is like sympathetic or in general like sane. So no. Verk, do you want to do anything?
Snap the guy's neck.
Oh, yeah. I'll
Just before I go, real quick, a little murder.
Wait, we don't need this guy. Snap.
He's already not coming up. That's too. I already killed him. So
takes a couple steps over toward the guy that shot at him.
Mhm.
This is for the bunny.
all right, roll me fight. Let's see if this kills this guy. Roll. He doesn't even. I'm gonna roll against his physique, which is a 0. So you have an ob 0.
Or we'll just keep it simple. Just for the bunnies, as he just like hurls through the air to punch him in the face.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. And it's a 4 fight.
4.
Okay, 2 point stress, 2 point physical consequence. Boom, knocks him out. A tooth flies through the air, and as that happens, so you haven't landed yet. You're like, it's still in the air as your fist connects. A tooth pops out and flies past you, and then stops in midair. Everyone is completely frozen. Jonas and Davros, I want you to describe to me how you do what you do. How do you pull this off? What does it look like?
So that kind of plays into the idea that I had on his second story thief for a second, forgetting that it dealt with climbing more so. I'd like to think that I am standing over Brecken's body, and I'm kind of like the two-armed world right anchoring, almost. And so I'm channeling down to the body of Brecken, and then channeling out a connection out of the other arm to Davros, as Davros is running around maybe to tap everyone, to kind of give them a link of the connection.
Like Quicksilver.
I was just going to say
Yeah.
Quicksilver. Yeah. You're able to just kind of give that, and you can see there's this like thin, almost like a glowing silkworm thread,
Right,
of connectivity. And then right as I'm going to say that right as like you're about to maybe Talab, you just like and you tap the little cage, and you have a link there, and everything is still, and then everything is gone. So we have worlds. There are 9 of them, 9 different kinds of worlds. Without a D10 to roll, how do we decide which world we go to? I want to leave
Can
it up
it
to you
just
guys.
not be a negative one like every other one we've ever been to?
Well, that's you guys have been rolling like shit. So that's up to you. Oh, hold on. Every time I've given you guys like 3 choices, and then fucking Kurt's like, "Oh, let's go to Worms. This sounds good." And I'm like, "Okay, I guess." And he was like, "Oh, you know what sounds cool? Madness." Wow, guys, all right, you could have picked something else. But
so hold on. Isn't there exactly 9 things? If anybody's interested in what's going on my webcam, my 3-year-old is playing with a flashlight.
fantastic.
It's fine. They can't
It's
see her.
ambiance.
There's 10 because there's the great.
There's 10 because there's Peyton. Okay, all right. There's 10 because there's the grave. You said.
Nope, that's just
Oh,
the thing
okay.
Kurt said.
So there's 9, right? So isn't the fate?
Normally you can't travel to the grave. I will say in this case, actually, that is one of the options. You can travel to the grave directly.
Well, there are 9 possible rolls out of.
There's 9 possible rolls in fate, right? It's like literally perfect. -4, -3, -2, -1, 0.
Yeah, but there's a bell curve.
But there's not an
way
equal.
harder.
There's not an equal
distribution
percent chance to get +4 as compared to his.
We could just straight up roll a D10. Anyone have a D10 handy they want to roll and throw a webcam on?
I can grab one from downstairs real fast.
It looks like I think Ted's got it.
Right here.
Ted's got it. And we can always think of a better method later using fate. Or it could just be a D10 every time. I don't see why not. All right, Ted, lay it down. So we'll say, hold on. Do you want a 1 or a 10 to be the grave?
1.
1? Okay. And then I have the list here, which I'll share with you guys afterwards. Actually, I'll put it into under aspects and play. I'll put the rest of the worlds.
I'll play with mommy's PlayStation.
All right, no pressure, Ted.
Hold on. I'm gonna add a little drama here. So I'm gonna make a little chart.
All right.
Okay.
I'll reveal it when you're ready.
Okay. I can
already
see
rolled.
It was an 8. I saw it.
Oh, it was an 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 is the grave.
8 is the world of perfume, right?
2 is. I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna find out myself as I type it from my list. Cathedrals.
Whoa.
Madness. Ruin. Oceans. Songs. It was an 8?
It was an 8.
Well, 8 is Crucibles, so why don't you re-roll that one?
Oh, is that where we already on?
Worm, yeah.
That is where we had.
All right then.
It sends us back to the ship.
Everything
So
disappears.
convenient.
It was the
And
camera.
memory
Super
appears.
convenient.
Yeah, you guys, can you see it in the aspects in play? I'll make a little thing that says.
1.
Oh my god!
You guys go to the grave. Here you go, dude. The rolls have been really on par for the narrative. They've been really good.
Tell Katrina that she'll have her Sundays back.
That clutch, that clutch +4 was great, and now we got this. All right, we go to the grave, gentlemen. So,
Aw, Brecken will get to see it. That's great.
I mean, he's seen it a bunch. He travels there all the time in his magical spaceship that travels the grave. or he used to. His grave ship, his ship of the dead. Well, it's fate, guys. It's collaborative. So you know how the grave is this like unending space of ruined god parts and broken worlds. Where do you land? Let's say it's not floating in space. It's on something. It's some kind of shard of something. What is it? What does it look like? What's about it? Let's do really
Do we
go
land?
around the circle and what?
So do we land somewhere that we remember, or do we land somewhere we have not seen?
Totally random. It's the grave, and you guys go somewhere. Maybe that you guys go. Here it is. You go somewhere Brecken saw. Brecken envisioned something, and he sent you there. What did Brecken see, and where did he try to send you?
Something to do with the Leviathan frats?
Or where did he try to go himself? So let's go in a circle. Let's everyone add one aspect to it. I think that's kind of kiddie, but I think it kind of works. Jonas, what's one thing about this?
Every bit of the drop of the backdrop is celestial. So their sunlight is on you depending on how close a star is in the backdrop to where you're positioned, but not because you have a plane of existence that a horizon, a sun comes and crests over. You know what I mean?
I kind of don't. Actually, I'm sorry. I'm not sure I understand what you're saying.
You're talking about this guy?
So like I kind of envision the ground is a mirror and the sky is constantly stars.
Okay. And but it's a maybe it's the mirror is curved and warped. So light is super bright or super tiny. It's almost like a funhouse mirror.
Yeah.
But the constellations are shining in odd and unpredictable ways.
Yeah,
on the floor
in
of
some
this place. Okay.
in some places of this mirror, the particular planets feel or seem closer because of the funhouse kind of effect, and in some ways they don't. And if it's fair to say, I would think world right wise, the closer they are in the mirror, maybe the more power you feel or the better connection you feel to them.
Sure. So you're walking on warped starlight. I'm going to destroy Woodland Stampede and Beleaguered by Storms, and the stars are known to all, and I'm going to replace it with 4 aspects. So walking on warped... Oh, world light.
Yeah, there we go.
Second aspect. Ted, lay it down.
There's a city around us in every direction, but not like we're not like necessarily in it, like it's in the distance. But it's in every direction.
It is one city that is in not multiple cities. Okay.
Seems
so everywhere a ringed you haven't played Dark Souls 3, but there's one of the expansions is the ringed city. Don't worry, the monsters in here will not be the same monsters that are in that one, because then you would die. Verk, third aspect for this place.
I don't know. I'm coming back. Yeah, come back to me. I'm still trying to think of it.
Davros.
There is a somewhat demolished, I would say half demolished, war-torn, abandoned temple of the Leviathan that we are on the porch or stoop of.
So there's this warped okay, all right. I'm gonna go off that for a second. The statue, the shrine, beneath you, that warped glass is cracked. It crashed into this like a meteor. It was driven here, and it drove the city out into that ring shape. This was a normal city once. The Shrine of the Leviathan crashed here, warped this glass world space, and brought it out. Awesome, super dope. Verk, you got something for me?
Yes.
What's the aspect?
So this could go.
Sorry.
Dope ass glass shattered.
Crack.
The shattered
impact of the Leviathan.
There we go. Impact
Ooh.
of the Leviathan. Okay.
So there's other ships for this Leviathan fleet, I guess, for lack of a better term, that are out and about that could be anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly one of those be close by. He was trying to connect with another one of his brothers.
Wow. Well, guys, I gotta say, you guys were doing all right, and then Vert came in and fucked you.
Thank you. That's
the Armada.
I didn't say Armada. I said.
Well, you said, but there might the Armada is somewhere that the ship would have come from there. So the Armada.
Bill's bloodlust is not satisfied.
The Armada wanders the stars. Wow. Honestly, you guys were alone here, and now there's a fucking enemy warship. So,
right, they don't have to be enemies.
Bill just wanted to punch a ship, so that's why this is here. Too late. Every time he describes it, I'm going to make it worse. Yeah, the guys, there's a carrier. They launched like 100 drones at you. They all have lasers. It's terrible. Roll physique. So, to recap, in this scene, you are walking on this warped, this grotesque reflection. So, Jonas, originally you had said this was simply like kind of changing. Because of the Leviathan, it is grotesque. Like they're drawn into weird shapes. The light is reflected sickly. It's weird. They're odd reflections, and you're walking on this glass-like place. It's not any harder to walk physically. The mirror isn't actually physically bent, but the way it reflects things is. All around you, far in the distance, is a city that was once whole and has now been burst apart into this ring. Each part of the ring coated with a different shard of some world it's adjacent to. It's pushed the ringed city out into the fringes of rifts. Parts of these cities are bordering upon other worlds in the grave. This happened because a shrine of the Leviathan, cause unknown, fell, but it feels suspiciously to you, Davros, like it was driven here with intent and cracked this city and birthed this strange warped world light. And unfortunately, because this is such a central and important location for these cultists, the armada of the Leviathan cultists wanders the stars, and at any moment, many of them might be close nearby. When they fuck you, I want you to not blame me. I want you to blame Bill. I want that to be something you guys keep in mind.
I was thinking a ship, not.
No, that's too late. No, you already said it. It's too late.
We don't have the navigator either, so we have no way to get around.
You sure don't. You guys got to get back to that shit. She's alone over there on that fucking ship.
But we got a guy that knows a thing or two that can sweet talk his way onto
the one of the ships. It's true. This armada might help you because those ships presumably know how to navigate the grave. So you might be able to get home some way.
They don't know who we are.
They don't. It's true. You do have Brecken's corpse, so I'd suggest somehow that gets fixed.
You're
gonna do that. You're gonna do the help my brother.
We're clearly returning his body to
get help.
That's it. Get help.
His last words were "come home" or come home, right? So
yeah, it was. That was his last words. Yeah. Okay.
His dying wish.
His dying wish.
Is he actually dead now, though?
No. So he's still mouthing these words, almost like he's an automaton. Like something in there won't let him die.
Can we in there?
I don't know what that means.
I'm going to twist
Mess
the
with
sword.
his
berry.
There
you go.
You want to finish him off?
Yeah, I do.
Jonas, do you have thoughts on this?
I do, and I stop him from any effort
to
do so.
First, do no harm, right?
I'm terrified by the.
You've also never seen the grave. You've never been. Well, here's the grave.
I'm like, what? Are we on another plane? I've never been on.
This is what we've been.
You could say that, Talab. You could say that.
This is what we've been navigating all of those stories and journeys we've described to you.
Talab, as you take in this wonder, is this happening, Davros? You notice Davros reach over to grab the handle of the blade within Brecken's skull.
Is that what's happening, Davros, or are you asking me if I notice it?
Well, I was talking to Talab, but yeah, I was.
Oh, is what I was saying happening? I'm more terrified and not
Okay, so you don't notice
stopping
this.
him. Is what I-
Okay, yeah. So you're in awe at this
yeah,
place.
yeah, exactly. That's what I.
Okay, so then Jonas, do you want to do? I'll say you notice it. It's fine. I'm not going to make you guys roll for it. It's not like hard. There's a corpse. There's only one of them. By the way, Captain Rilo has just like both guns out, and she's just like pulling them out, looking around. Puts the gun down. Points one at Captain Brecken. Points one at you, Jonas. One at you, Davros. And what's his name? Nameless Crewman, Mr. Nameless Crewman. But it's spelled fantasy-like.
Could we name him Jerry?
Jerry?
I like Jerry as a name.
He's the bosun.
The bosun? Well, Jerry's his nickname. His given name is Nameless, but his nickname is Jerry.
Isn't it Gary?
For generic.
Nameless, like Arliss.
Yeah, exactly. It's spelled like with an apostrophe and a Y in it, because fantasy world. So Nameless Crewman, which we nicknamed Jerry, is surprisingly not pissing himself. He's a little bit more composed than you might imagine. He also has his flintlock drawn.
I would like to. Is it possible that we retcon that during the fight, after all of the other crew members died, Rilo went, "You're the first mate."
Yes.
And so in his newfound promotion, he's a little bit less less nervous.
This guy's gonna have a full suite of aspects before we're done. Nameless Crewman is gonna be a full-fledged NPC. He's gonna have dialogue and everything. A tragic backstory.
He'll sacrifice himself, and we will weep. We'll have to end. We'll have to end the session.
He's gonna be your Phil. He's gonna be your Phil Coulson. Like, he's gonna be the guy that
brings the Avengers together.
I was gonna end up shouting Nameless.
But Nameless, you were too good for this world, for any of these worlds.
Who died?
Nameless. Nameless Crewman. So yeah, and
He survived by his brother, some guy.
It's important that the fourth wall isn't even broken. Like, to you guys in game, that isn't a weird name. Like, yes, Nameless. It's a traditional elven name from this region. Anyway, so Nameless Crewman holding himself pretty well together here.
We're all pronouncing.
What do you guys do? Talab, you're freaking out. Verk, Davros, Jonas. Davros, so you're going to finish him off, right?
I feel like that's a little premature because we purposely brought him.
Well, hold on. Did Talab actually did he actually say? Is this like another plane or something?
Yeah, he said it.
Yeah.
Then he would probably more than likely, because Davros knows a lot of more about this stuff now than he's taken an interest to it. Instead, would probably focus on that instead of
Sure.
But instead of driving the sword down, I would take the sword and sheath.
Oh, so that still kills him, because
moving.
I would do something to not compel from the game term, but I would do something to compel him to leave Brecken alone and allow me to figure out what's going on and to kind of push him towards
I'll leave him
Talab.
alone. I take my sword out and put it in.
I would if I would know that was going to kill him, then I would stop him.
That was going to kill him.
I mean, it's like pulling the knife out of a person. Like, that's almost worse. Like, you're good now. All the blood flows out. Do we have to roll off for this?
I've never killed anyone before in this way. I don't know that's going to be.
But Jonas, can maybe you put your hand on him, like, hold on. Yeah,
see to Talab. So like I put maybe his hand is on the hilt, and I put my hand on top of it, and I'm like, hey, go see to Talab. Let me handle Brecken.
Ooh, one nice thing is you guys do have a little bit of some knowledge here because you do have the copy of the text of the Pilgrimage of St. August. Might be some truths in there to help you. I just thought about that because you smuggled it because you fucking stole it.
Yep.
Let's Verk, what are you doing?
Do I see this armada?
So nope, there's no right now.
Okay.
There's no armada that you can see.
Okay.
They're just always wandering.
He rolls fight against the Armada.
Yeah.
Wow, punches the ship in half. What was that guy's name? From Ashes into Oaks. Rysis Rex ended the campaign by punching a ship apart.
No, so I'll go step in front of Rilo and Nameless, and just kind of like we're same team or something along the lines of like, let's settle down. We're at the grave. We need to have all of us here to get through this.
Let's see if you can calm her down. Why don't you roll me rapport? By the way, he's first mate, so you want to call Mr. Crewman. This would be correct.
Mr. Nameless?
Not. I guess you. I don't know.
Let's see here. Where's rapport? 2.
I'm going to remove the world aspects because we're not in World of Crucibles anymore.
I'm sorry, for Verk, that would be report.
Report. Right.
Yes.
He doesn't know about silent letters. Canon. Verk does not know why does not know that letters can be silent. Which, to be fair,
report.
Yeah. To be fair, he's got a good point. Like, why is it there if it's silent? That doesn't make any sense.
It's rapport.
Rapport. What's your role? I didn't. From Twitch.
2 plus -1, so a 1.
Oh, 1. Okay. It's just an odd 1. They're not like completely calmed down, but they holster their guns. And Captain Rilo, she trusts you, Ferk. What strange witchery brought us here? She like leans down and tries to pick up like some dust, but it's just smooth glass. She tries to hold her finger to feel the wind and feels nothing.
I'll turn to Davros and like, he understands this a little bit more than I do.
Verk, explain to me in great detail where we are and how we got there.
I will jump in as Verk motions over to me. This place is where things from other realms come. How they get here, we haven't quite figured that out. How we got here, Jonas may be able to assist me in maybe finding an answer, but I honestly don't know. We were pulled here by...
Holds up her hand.
Point up to the motion to the corpse.
She stops you. But how do we get home?
Yeah.
Our way home is on your ship.
The Navigator. I wondered why you called her that. I've seen many things, but I've never seen anything quite like this. And she looks around and you immediately see her change from fear to starting to calculate the returns on this. There must be treasures untold.
Undoubtedly.
In this place. She like tucks the flintlock back into her waistband. Well then, Jonas.
Yeah?
You brought us here. Bring us home.
No sweat, and in a moment of pride and whatever, he pulls the sword out to... Just kidding. And points it triumphantly at the stars.
Yeah, it works. It puts you back home. It's crazy. Turns out it was a Hearthstone all along her sword.
No, so I guess what I'll do is I tell her Actually, yes. This is a really good segue. I'm like, I would love to do that, and I'm almost positive I would be able to. But the other issue is my copy of The Life and Death of St. August is also on the ship, and I believe that had some information that would be key to getting us home.
Davros, do you react to this?
Stone cold.
Classic. Talab, let's talk about you a little bit. So, as you're taking this in, what do you do?
Didn't that man bring us here? I'm just asking all of you, basically. Because I don't really know what just happened. It just kind of like the world came crashing down, and now we're here.
So
But it seemed like it said something.
Talab, do you have any world right?
No.
Okay, and
He didn't even know that like this was a thing.
Yeah. Okay. So I think the appropriate response is that well, Talab, it's pretty complicated actually. You see, when the worlds were created,
Do you give him the whole?
Do you make that smile? I feel like you have a tell.
Yeah.
Jonas.
When a mommy universe and a daddy universe love each other. So, no, I do tell him it's complicated.
Universe love.
Yeah, he actually. No, I don't know that I could tie it into love, although that would be good for his character. But
yeah.
No, I tell him it's extremely complicated. We pulled against a bunch of different forces that affect the world, both that we live within and part of the bigger worlds. And I think I put it like that. Like, there's our world, and then there's the larger worlds. And then I'm hoping the emphasis and the implication is like that he starts to see that there's a bigger scope, and it starts to expand his view, maybe.
Yeah, I think that you probably have been saying things like this during the course of the journey before, but I would have probably been like, yeah, sure, whatever you say. Other worlds. But now it's like come full circle in a way.
And if anything, maybe this is why you haven't found you're stuck on that 7th stage, because you've been wondering one world this whole time.
Yeah, I'm seeing this city or these cultists as a new group of people in which to potentially find my soulmate.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm also concerned about the man who may have brought us here now. And is he still... Are you still addressing him? Or did you actually do that thing where you pulled the sword out?
No, I didn't. No,
Okay.
so... Yeah, so I mean... it. At the point that we're kind of playing out the scene, I'd like... You know, I think there's probably like a whole thing that Dan's probably going to help describe or something. As far as me trying to get information from him, me taking the devices off of him, me peeling the crown back and putting it on my own head, you know.
Yeah, to ascend to... Well, so the... Yeah. Me eating his heart and getting his powers, you know, that whole... Honestly, Dan, don't even...
Is that how the grave works? Out loud.
Gives him prayer juice to ease his plane.
So do you guys, Jonas and Talab, then, do you guys dig in on this? And then on Brecken?
Yeah, I certainly do.
While they're doing that, Verk and Davros, what do you guys do? So there's, in terms of like things around you to investigate, there's the city far in the distance. You can get there, but like it's going to be quite a ways. And other than that, there's just the shrine. And according to you guys anyway, there's pretty much nothing else. Except the reflections of different worlds.
Does World Right in the grave work the same way that it does on the other?
Isn't it?
It works the same way everywhere. In fact, it's a little stronger in the grave.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm going to say it has a passive +1 bonus to it in the grave at all times. But it's pretty limited in which you guys pull off an insane... In fact, you guys didn't even pull off the teleport. You guys just kind of like made it not terrible. So you could summon small things. You can make things appear. But again, they're going to go away pretty soon. Depending on your role, I'll let you like have it keep around for a number of maybe minutes, but you're not super adept yet at like using it for anything of massive power.
I also have a question.
As
Well, let me get
Jonas
correct news.
and Talab are minding Brecken, I'm going to attempt to use World Right to summon in, maybe it's the barrel that Jonas put the book in.
Okay. And then pull the story out
Hey,
from
look
it.
what I found.
Oh my god. Yeah. Wow. God. No, don't roll me World Right. I want you to roll me. Do you have Deceive? Yeah. I want you to roll me Deceive.
Well, don't I need to roll World Right to bring the barrel?
You're not bringing the actual barrel. You're just bringing you're manifesting a thing from your memory that looks like it. Doesn't have to be the real barrel, right? Because like it just has to look like it because you have it. And in fact, it can't be the exact barrel because that would mean you can like pull an object physically out of an existing world. You're just summoning a thing that looks like it and is temporarily real.
Oh, then forget that. I
Well, no,
thought
but-
you could actually pull stuff through.
Well, no, but either way, doesn't it accomplish your goal of like?
No, because
No.
to Kurt's point, I'm going to
Because
know that too.
He
So I'm going to
Jonas
know.
would that.
So I'm going to know
that's
that it's not
true.
the right barrel.
Yeah,
so
you can make it is a
You
real
can fall
barrel.
back like that.
Yeah, it's true. It is a real barrel. It has weight and mass. It just isn't. You can't like. It's a duplicate. It's a thing
Jonas
you
would
invent.
know enough that we wouldn't be able to permanently keep
that's
something
fair.
manifest.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to go for.
Brutal
Could
honesty.
mysteriously disappear and then resummon it again.
Yeah.
It's going to show up somewhere.
what's
Okay.
total side whatever. What's Nameless's notice?
Nameless is he's got. You know what? I'm gonna make a. You guys think I'm kidding? I'm gonna make a fucking stat sheet. For this guy. Yeah. He's sharp. His notice is 2.
All right, just totally unrelated.
Let me know when I need to roll that.
So Curtin or Davros and Verk, what did you guys want to do?
Yeah. Oh no. And then Ted had a question after that too.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You can go first.
I am going to explore the crash down temple for what
Okay. For what?
for what I can see into it.
Okay. Sure. There's definitely stuff there. Verk.
I'll walk over with him, but before we leave, I'm gonna mention to the other guys like, whenever y'all are done, we should probably head over to the city.
That's fair. Captain Rilo says, Mr. Crewman, help these men out. And she leans over to watch you guys work on Brecken, and Mr. Nameless Crewman comes with you guys, Verk and Davros. Talab, you had a question.
Yeah, this is unrelated to Brecken really, but we have brought the creature.
That's
and
right. That's
I also have a sample of the slime or the goo
right. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
from the other creatures.
Yeah.
Is there any sort of reaction that it's having with this world, the creature's having with this world? Is there any other kind of like just a basic like reaction that they're having being
No.
brought here?
That creature was native to that world actually. But so no, I mean it's not smart enough to know that like it was teleported. It's just kind of like oozing, and it actually has like it's got at different times different numbers of eyes. Like it like it's almost like a pile of stem cells that makes whatever it needs at the time. So right now it's actually covered in eyes. And once it kind of takes in everything it needs to, which is not much, it's kind of a sea of stars and a thing there, it kind of collapses back in on itself as it's kind of slithering around the cage, looking for a way out.
What if I introduce like a little drop of the goo near it?
Near it, it like physically abhors it. It like arcs, like it like drives it away, almost like a magnet. It's not a physical. It's not actually magnetic. The creature like immediately pushes itself away. It wants nothing to do with it. It is terrified. It does that. It brings itself up almost like a tidal wave, this goo, as if it's making itself large to scare this thing. And it forms a long, thin line that almost splits it in half, and a shrill sound comes out, a high-pitched squeal. The little drop of the black ooze kind of vibrates and ripples a little bit, but otherwise doesn't react.
Okay.
It abhors this.
The first of a series of experiments to do. But that's it.
Okay. What do you guys do with this with Brecken? So in this scene, Jonas, Talab, and Rilo are there with Brecken, and Verk Davros and Nameless Crewman are over on the shrine. So we'll do Brecken first.
Am I able to suss out anything about what he's mouthing?
Yes. Give me a roll, and the name of that roll is Gravewise. You can invoke. You have a couple aspects that I think you can invoke if you want.
I don't have any truth.
You sure don't. So, if you fail and you're out of truth, you can either self-compel or you can succeed at cost. Succeeding at cost means I get to have a bad thing, a very bad thing happen to you. Whereas a compel is just the narrative is driven in perhaps a poor way. Succeeding at cost is like you physically, like I get to like hurt you, but you might succeed for all I know. So
Sure.
yeah, roll me Gravewise.
I have a 3.
Okay, and you rolled a 3. That is just barely meeting it. You kind of lean in, and you still hear. By the way, that song has not stopped. Actually, while you're next to this shrine, that song is ringing. It's almost like it is physically here now. Before it was kind of in your brain. It sounds like that shrine is emitting a noise. No one else is reacting to it, so it probably isn't. But to you, it is very palpably, like a large bell. And he is mouthing the words to a hymn to the Leviathan, and he's stuck on. He's basically looping one of the lines. He can't finish it. Whatever he was calling, you did. So this gives you the best indication. Whatever this isn't what he was trying to do. Whatever he was trying to do, you stopped it. He is mid-chant.
Okay.
He can't complete it. And he's saying, come home to us, come and devour us whole. And we'll say it's come and devour, and then he's stopping. You, because of your attunement to the song, know intuitively the next words are devour us whole. But he can't complete it.
Okay.
He's stuck in that loop.
Do I feel any other world right power or any other connection from him to the grave? Or to, like, is that chant in its paused state still pulling at anything, and can I suss out?
It's not. So he's not really conscious, and it's pretty clear. You see, there's like a sparks fritzing from his destroyed crown. As you see the pieces of skull where like clearly this crown had half of it's blown off by Rilo. You see where it had embedded, as you can see now into his skull. The crown has been physically inserted. There are long, thin metal rods that were in his like prefrontal cortex, and it is very clear to you with just a little bit of world right and Gravewise, and you're kind of the tech you've picked up over these worlds. This is an amplifier of some kind. There is a power here that allows them to operate at a level beyond what you're capable of. It's destroyed now, and whatever he's calling isn't coming.
Okay. Am I able to, for the stuff that was on or around his body? the tech that was turning into a gun and different things. Am I able to? Is that retrievable from his body?
Yeah, sure. So Rilo's already looting it. She's just pulling apart his robes and picking out pieces. She's already gotten a couple things that she's looked at and go, "Ooh, okay, all right." So you can join her in that, but she's already got a couple pieces. You look for anything specific, or are you just trying to pull tech?
First, I pull out the piece of tech that I have in my coat, the GPS tracker-ish that's no longer beeping. And I try to see if there's anything on Brecken that will interact with it or reactivate it potentially, or
No, but he has one that is exactly the same.
Oh yeah, well then I definitely take that.
Okay.
Otherwise, beyond that, would anything on his body or the tech or anything remind me of anything from the stories, the life and death of St. August?
No.
I know that's a
No,
stretch.
nothing, yeah, nothing here.
And so what's the device that's similar to my device doing? It's just straight up.
I'm not going to make you reroll. You have enough grave-wise. And when the navigator is navigating, there's obviously an answer that would benefit you here, but try to be honest. Do you interact with her at all? Do you talk to her about like the way of the navigation of the grave? Do you know anything about that? You're not the one picking coordinates anymore. She's doing that. But would you recognize grave coordinates if you saw them, do you think?
I think I would recognize their look. I don't think I would recognize...
You'd be able to read them.
Right. If that makes any sense. Like
Davros actually would, Davros would be able to recognize them. He had navigated a few times. But so yeah, these are your current coordinates. These are coordinates in the grave.
That are coming out of the device that's still active?
Yeah. It's basically it's a beacon.
Okay. Can I... Can I put my hand on the hilt of the sword? Rilo seems to be distracted, kind of. And
you look up, she's already wielding one of the guns. She got it to work. She's like clipped it on and just kind of the benefit of these things is they're super intuitive. The level of tech is so far beyond that it like there's a tendril that like has like the oh my god, when you're the cochlear implants, there's like a part that like goes up and like sticks onto the side of the brain, and she's just now like Samus Aran. She's got like an arm gun that she's pointing around and like retracting and pulling out at will, and she's absolutely beaming. So by the way, Captain, if you want to fight her, she's now got like an insane weapon with literally its own set of aspects. FYI.
So don't need to fight her. That's fine. No, but
I wouldn't.
But pretty distracted. Talab is also a little.
He's doing the experiments with the
yeah. Okay.
The
so I put my hand on the hilt of the sword, and then I'm gonna roll world right, and I'm gonna have to see if you give this to me or give me some sort, like obviously with what I'm trying to do. Maybe you'll give me something like it, but I'd like to try to repair Brecken for a moment. Like, like, give him back the parts of the brain that aren't there. Like, in a moment where I can immediately remove this. First of all, for the people that are in disbelief of what I'm asking, my hand's on the sword to remove the sword immediately, like if this doesn't go well. And hopefully just kill the whatever. The other piece of it is I kind of want to get one last interaction with him. Like, that's what I'm looking for out of it.
That's fair. I can give you that. Like this, what you're doing here will kill him. But you
Correct.
want one last. Okay.
One last.
That's fine.
One. Like, I want him to see that he took us to the grave.
Yeah.
And then I want to get a little bit of information if possible, or one last interaction with him.
Following the fate rule of we only roll if it's interesting if you fail, I'm not even going to make you roll. I don't care. Your failure in this is not compelling to me, and your success is. So you just like grab it and you jolt it. You kickstart his brain with just a little bit of world, right? You bring a little bit of, because there's
like the piece of the crown like goes back to like
well,
cover the whole maybe.
Before there was, so before you guys became world travelers, there were versions of you scattered across the multiverse, right? Bits of you that had different paths in different worlds. You bring a cup, you start to coalesce those other Breckons around him and bring an echo of his soul back in with a snap. His eyes go wide and he sees. And he says, "What?" And you hear that "what" echo 4 or 5 times from 4 or 5 different Breckons. So yeah, what's the last thing you want here? You didn't think this far ahead?
No, definitely not.
Okay, yeah.
Can that be successful and then we go to the other guys and come back?
Sure.
Okay.
Talab, do you have anything else for me? Do you have anything else
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
Actually, the thing that kills him
Yeah.
is the result of the consequence, no? The wound, but there's a consequence.
Correct.
And,
Yeah.
So I have a stunt, which gives me a +1 magic test to cure physical consequences.
You do. It's true, actually.
And a 3 magic, so that would be giving me a +4 to potentially cure it.
Why would we be...
When I see, I just want to. Do I need to roll notice?
No.
Okay, when I see you touching the sword, I come over. I finished my experiment. I come over and I go, I might be able to help him. Do you want him to live?
Oh boy,
No.
no, this time has passed. I kind of want you to try.
Oh man.
I feel like I'd have to fight him to do anything, though. Is the thing.
Yeah. Do you stop? Would you stop Talab from trying?
If it's clear what he's trying to do, and or if he explains it the way he just explained it, then yes, 100%.
Okay.
If he like sits down in front of me while I'm channeling shit and like does it sneakily, then
no, I'm not the type who would do something really.
Yeah, no. Then I kind of like usher him away, and I'm like, no. This soul is too far gone, and without you having experience in the grave, I feel like tooling around.
But if I might, Joan, not all who are dying need prayer juice.
That is
Which is like
such
a profound statement that is
prayer
give them
juice.
a chance and see what happens.
I personally, I'm on Ted's side. I think it'd be cool to let him play that. In general, in Fate, I want to see terrible ideas like this.
Dan, if that's the case, then I would offer. Well, no,
You don't have to. I would just like it. I'm not like I can't make you do it. I actually was going to look for a compel on you, Jonas, but I can't think of one that wouldn't be more distracting for Talab, and he would have to like go and help you. So I can't think of a good compel.
I mean, you could say that it's hard to concentrate, maybe with how loud the song is ringing out from the shrine or something.
Yeah, but any way that would make that like something that you couldn't like, or I could do 73 screams. But like either way, Tom's gonna be more concerned with your clear distress than Brecken. So I don't want to compel that.
Yeah. No, I think healing this man's wounds to bring back the shell of a soul is not worth the effort and risk. We obviously saw Talab, we used the navigator to travel worlds, and the navigator had a very special device. We have no idea how Brecken was able to bring us to this place, the grave, and if he were to be conscious again in any way that wasn't finite, then I would be concerned for our future.
Okay, see what you're saying. If we stabilize him and he comes to, he could potentially pull down worlds again and do something. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I would.
You'd rather find somebody else here, maybe we can con into sending us where we want to go? Out of character. Out of character.
Yeah, no, Talab, I feel like we've traveled the grave enough, and Jonas starts going into his confident, talking out the side of his mouth speech, and I don't know that Talab has been around long enough to really recognize this right away. But Jonas is like, Talab, we've traveled the grave, right? This is the place that we've told you about. This is the journeys we've taken, traveling the different worlds. We always find a way. We know exactly what we're doing.
We've seen worse.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that.
But correct me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
That man did send us through a world, and you haven't.
Well,
Right?
I also channeled that same energy. So who's to say that really the power that be didn't
I'm not a liar when I hear one, says Captain Rilo. I think this man has the right of it. He pulled us through, and you pulled us around. She kind of puts her foot on this guy's chest gently, like not crushing him. What more harm could he cause? And she levels the gun. And she's dual wielding. She's got the arm gun in one and her foot both on his head. What harm could he do?
Those are very, very well spoken points, Captain. But I ask you, what title does a captain have when they don't have a ship or a crew?
Oh, I have a ship and a crew. This man just took them from me.
And that's my exact point.
And this man could take them back. If he took us here, could he not bring us back? My ship and my crew are on a calm sea outside a stormy forest somewhere, and she kind of points out to the general grave.
So what possible motivation would a man who is basically on his deathbed have if we were to bring him back to consciousness, knowing that we were the ones that put him on death's door?
Bring him back to life and threaten to take that life back from him, should he not give us what we want. Talab, can you keep this man alive?
I think I can try.
So give this man his life back so that we can threaten to take it away.
So where are her guns pointed?
Right now, well, there was one at his head. They're not anymore. There's no reason she would have. She made her point visually.
They're not pointed at me, correct?
Nope.
Cool. So while the two of them are looking at each other and focused at talking, I pull the sword out.
Yeah, that's exactly what I figured was going to happen. Okay. His hand was already on it. I don't feel comfortable giving either of us rolls to Lop. I think there's no way we're going to react in time. And all he's got to do is literally, fuck it, if you jiggle it like a little bit the wrong way, he's dead. So so you just pull it out, there's a and we both just look at you. You're now holding the bloody, brain-filled sword of Brightholm.
And I say, go ahead, Talab. Can you bring it back?
Wow, what a dick! What a dick!
Prayer
That's your new high concept. What a dick. What'd you say, Talab?
prayer juice for another of your victims.
Oof.
Oh,
Yeah, and Rilo
Never mind.
Rilo looks at you, remembering that you were the one who took out 4 members of her crew. She narrows her eyes. And she looks like she's going to point the gun at you, but then stops. There's better things to do here than fight. We've got to get home. But she looks at you and spits on the ground. If we die here, Jonas, it will be on your head.
I can only imagine that bearing that weight for the eternity of the rest of my life will be a terrible, terrible thing.
Are you smiling as you say it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay, great. What a dick. Let's go to Davros and Verk.
I was gonna say, so while all this happens, what do we see?
On a side note, I'm so happy that Davros walked away from that.
Yeah. Oh, and now I gotta hold on. I gotta move the extras around. Brightholm's sword. We'll copy. We'll paste. Now goes to Jonas. So, and Davros, you do have. Although actually there was a swap because the Gypsy pamphlet, you don't have that. So Davros, you do have the extra, the pilgrimage of Saint August. So Verk and Davros, you guys walk up to this. As you walk closer, it seems to grow in size. There's this between the strange trick of the light and the odd way the worlds are warping. It's unclear how big this thing is until you arrive at the foot of it. It is colossal. It is hundreds of feet high, hundreds of feet around, and much like an iceberg, you're pretty sure that there is much more of it below this fractured glass surface than above. And it is very clearly a temple. There are steps going up it into it, and there are 2 giant doors of stone which are pushed open just big enough for a couple men to walk in. The doors themselves are 30-40 feet high. They were meant for something far larger than you. All around it in a dark marble. Imagine black marble, and the striations are of metallic silvers and golds. Are carved monstrous, beautiful gargoyles, creatures in various poses meant to guard, to ward this place from spirits. Figures you imagine of long dead gods, creatures of myth, things long gone into the grave. And these gargoyles are all the way up as high as you can see. On either side, flanking the stone doors, there are what were once the carved images of 2 massive hounds. One of them is broken; the head has been cut off, and one of them is staring straight ahead to what would have been the eyes of the other. So that in order to pass through the doors, you would have to walk in between the gaze of these hounds. They have their tails are about as long as their whole body, so it's curled around their whole frame. They have thick, and this carving is beautifully meticulous. You can see the thick carved fur, and the deep inset eyes, the ears perked up to catch any unaware visitors to this shrine. They must be maybe themselves 35-40 feet tall. Do you approach?
Are we within shouting distance of those we left behind?
Yes. If you're, ambushed or anything.
Yeah, well, I was going to call back. Hey, guys, you guys need to come see this.
This is while they are arguing over...
Oh, okay. So I wasn't sure, where they're at in their point yet.
Yeah.
Is there anything... is the stone dog... Is it, well, I guess I would know this at this point. Is it tech or is it actual stone?
Stone. This is all actual carved stone.
Okay.
You are certain that this far predates the cultists. In
Okay.
fact, do you have Gravewise?
I do, yes.
What is it? Oh, 3.
3.
Don't even roll. You know, as you approach this is a relic of the old world, the first world, before the grave was formed. This is an ancient temple.
Do I know, is the old world a positive thing or is it a negative thing? What is it viewed as?
Well, it's hard to say because there's not like a collection of people that really know about this. There's you guys, there's this cultist, there's all these scattered people that have made their way to the grave. But it was the only world. It was it. That's all there was. Good or evil, this was the world. Its death formed all of these subworlds and the grave itself as you know it. But it's like coming across the ruins of Mount Olympus. Like, that's good or bad depending on your perspective. And this is from there. Largely intact. You can see some of the gargoyles themselves have been broken off, but largely still there. The door's still open.
What is Mr. Crewman's reaction to
that? Yes, Mr. Nameless Crewman. He looks up at it and he says, a bit overwrought, don't you think? The hounds and the gargoyles. I've seen temples in my day. We tossed coin and sacrifices there for voyages, but none like this. This is a god that thinks a little full of himself, or he keeps craning his neck up. Maybe thinks just the right amount.
Well spoken.
But he's got his gun out. He's ready to go in if you guys do.
I'm going to look over at Verk and get his...
He's just kind of taken back that, like, he sees himself as larger than life, right?
Yeah.
And he comes up to this, and he feels himself put into perspective of how small he is.
Anyone that might have worshipped at this temple would have been like 25 feet tall.
So he's kind of like taken back. Not to the point where he's scared to go in at all, but just kind of taking a moment to realize what all is going on.
That's totally fair.
Is it safe to say that there are relics of value and things with these with the first world ruins?
You mean, like, have you come across any of them in your travels?
Or have I heard of things along those lines, like, oh, if you find it, they have, you know...
Well, yeah. Well, I will say that. So there's not much. So the group of people that know about this is vanishingly small. In your travels, you guys, we said you guys have been traveling, you guys have world hopped, let's say, 15, 20 times. You've encountered once or twice anyone else that even knows about, like, world hopping in the grave. But yes, in your texts, in your travels, there's pieces in it in the pilgrimage of St. August. St. August, by the way, presumably this is a myth. Actually, as you trace it back, Jonas, you're pretty sure that this started in High Asphodel, in the first world. This is a story that dates back to then, because there's too many things about it that are things you've seen or seen echoes of in the grave, that it has to come from some much more ancient truth. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So Davros, any little, you haven't heard much, but any bit you've heard is this would, I mean, this is, any magic you have is a dim echo of what there was in the first world, in High Asphodel. If there is nothing but a cryptic rune or inscription, much less a treasure or a scrap of magic tome, it would be worth it literally priceless. There is no way you can compare it to these, like, fragmented worlds you inhabit yourself. So, like, yeah, there's no question that whatever is in there is of unspeakable value.
I think the captain would like to know about this. And I need to get my sword if we're going.
Oh, you guys aren't gonna just go in?
Split the party? No.
But it's so the doors are open. You can just walk in, and then like nothing bad will happen, and then you guys can report back. It'll be great. All right.
Well, I'm not making the move to go in. Verk
No.
or Mr. Crewman might.
Nameless Crewman's not going to go in alone. Verk, I mean, if anything, Bill just said he has been put in perspective.
Yeah.
So I feel like we have to, unfortunately, all agree that you guys don't rush blindly into this Temple of the Leviathan, guarded by 2 massive stone hounds.
When I was envisioning this, like when you first described it, I was thinking like statue, maybe like 15, 30 foot tall.
Right.
Not like huge monument that's like towering over everyone.
Yeah. No, it's totally fair. I was just hoping you guys would be stupid. So you guys, I imagine, head back to the main party. Right as you head back, that's when you see Jonas has just pulled out the sword and is holding it. You realize that they've arrived, Jonas, right as you pull it out. You look around you and you see that Verk and Davros are looking with maybe a shocked look on their face as you're holding this bloodied blade.
Well, at least you can get your sword back.
It's true.
I'm not going to react, but I'm going to look at the reactions of the others because I have no idea what's been going on.
Captain Rilo gives the speech I gave before. About if we die here, it's your fault. Jonas says what he says, that it's going to really weigh on him for all eternity, but with a smile on his face. Talab? Oh, no, Talab also said this is one more for the was it the mercy juice? Prayer juice? Prayer juice.
I mean, the joke there is about eternity is that if we all die and it's on my head, and that's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I gotta fix Bill's thing real quick, but
What's wrong?
By the way, Coke Zero sponsored us, and Skype can go screw itself.
Yep.
All right.
That's great. We're gonna use
Thank you, Microsoft, for nothing.
It's like Coke Zero spawn.
So I guess I pull the sword out. We say the couple things, and I see them coming into frame. And I point the sword at Davros, and this has a deeper meaning, probably because we know stuff out of character, obviously, but in character, I'm saying it because I know your past as a thief, more so than anything directly related. What is going on with Bill's webcam? Anyway,
I see it.
It's so weird. So I point the sword at him, and then I flip it around and do the thing where you present the hilt. And I present the hilt to him as he's walking up, and I go, I know better than to keep someone else's belongings. Again, has nothing to do with me knowing stuff that I shouldn't know.
It's just ironic for the audience.
I'll take the sword and I'll say, "See, you're still making friends there, Jonas."
Now,
Rilo, go on.
Oh, anything interesting at the shrine, or?
Well,
it is huge.
Valuable.
Well, the way I see it, it's either the colossal jet black shrine to an ancient monster, or a ringed city, and the ringed city is very far away. So, and she cocks the massive Samus Aran arm gun and clicks back the flintlock, shrugs her shoulders. Jet black shrine it is.
Here.
All right. Let's end it there, gentlemen. It's just about 10 o'clock. And we'll return next week to see what's in the shrine. Nothing. What happens with that green ooze? Also nothing. And if you guys get home, you totally do.
You know what's in the shrine? Oddly enough, a copy of the Pilgrimage of St. Augustine.
but a complete copy with instructions and directions. You guys want to make
Exactly.
a left. You guys want to make a left at World of Worms. The Heliotrope Cathedral right there. You guys walk right
Book
past.
is also the size of a car.
Right. Right. So you have to clamber on it and turn the pages. All right, guys, another great session. And I'll catch you all next week. Same bad time, same bad channels.
Good game.
Refresh to
Thanks,
2 or
David.
3 or 4. I can't
What'd you say?
remember.
3. Your truth refreshes to 3.
So,
Alright, guys.
all right, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
All right, that was another great. Hold on, let me. That I think for Discord, right? Yeah. So that was another great session. I still don't understand what's happening with Bill's Skype stuff here. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Video mode. And now everybody's Skype is. Oh, it's because everybody's leaving the call. I see. I get it. Okay. Well, I will cut it short then real quick because all of the feeds cut off. My apologies. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. Appreciate it. Well, let me see if I can maybe webcam. No. AFK maybe. Oh. Where's the see if there's a good way to do this. Hold on. Here and we makes sense. Except everything except for video, frets. Oh, that's not what I. Oh no, I definitely messed that up. That's not what I wanted at all. Cover this up. There we go. Okay. All right. I fixed it, sort of. So my apologies, everybody. So, thanks everybody for tuning in. Appreciate it. That was session 3 of our D&D-ish campaign. It's based on the fate system. We are now stranded in the grave, which probably doesn't sound as dire as the name entails, but obviously not a great situation for our heroes. So we will see what the shrine has for us to behold on the next episode. I believe we have a scheduling conflict for next Sunday. We're going to double check with the guys, and we'll be talking in Discord. Obviously, you could join the Discord community if you guys are interested in checking us out. The session 2 was just uploaded to YouTube earlier today, and I will be putting session 3 up either later tonight or early tomorrow. So please, if you want to tune in and you only caught part of the show or wanted to see the whole thing in a better to digest format like YouTube, where you can pause and replay and stuff, please do so. I would love to get some subscriptions on the old YouTube channel and see that people are enjoying the content. Otherwise, thanks everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. Hit me up on Twitter or Discord if you guys have any questions or want to reach out and want to talk to us. And then otherwise, we shall see you guys later. I will post a follow-up on Twitter, and obviously we'll talk on the Discord about that scheduling conflict. So we'll see if we're available for this Sunday, or if maybe we have to take it maybe 1 week off, which would be unfortunate, but you know it's going to happen as life sometimes gets in the way. So thank you guys again, and we will see you soon for session 4.